Hello, this is Judy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video with a voiceover, so I hope that you like it. It's not in real time. I am going to speed some of it up, but I'm going to be using one of our stencils from Close to My Heart, and they are 12 by 12 stencils, and they come 3 in a pack, and it's $15. So it's $5 a stencil, which is very economical. A lot of them are 10 bucks a piece, if you can even find 12 by 12 ones. So I pulled out some pictures of some flowers from last Mother's Day, and I wanted to use the stencil that has like a floral spray on it. I'm using picked raspberry, Distress Oxide ink, mustard seed, and tattered rose. And I'm just trying to show the stencil. I think you can see it better on the white than on the black. And I'm going to use our mini ink blending tools to apply the ink. Oh, and I got to pull out my craft mat here to use underneath my stencil for blending. It just makes everything so much easier. And these are very large. They come 20 by 15. I actually got one to cut down for smaller applications, and it's heat resistant and it wipes clean. With whatever I put on it, it's always wiped clean. So here I'm going to speed it up while I start applying my ink with my little ink blenders. And then I'm going to start with the tattered rose and do the center of the flowers. And I'm going to try and match the colors that are in the photos, just to really enhance the colors, because the flowers are so pretty. So then I'm going to go around with the picked raspberry, and then I'll go around with the mustard seed. Then I'm going to pull in some of the die cuts and try to do a technique I saw recently on YouTube, and I'm sorry I can't remember who it was that did it, but they just used a stencil under a stencil, or a mask you could call it, under the stencil to create more texture and dimension with different colors. Here's the reveal. I loved it. Oh, just love it. Now I'm going to take those thin cut butterflies and lay them on top of the background. And I created a hinge with that stencil, so I just closed the stencil right back over top of the paper, and it was lined up correctly. And now I'm going to apply some more ink around where the butterflies are in a darker tone of ink. I'm just applying some more pressure with that picked raspberry. And unfortunately, you will see here that the butterfly moved. And I had to try and replace it where it was, and it took a little bit of finagling. I finally got it, and thought probably should have put some repositionable adhesive on those butterflies so that they would stick down, because another one moves here in a minute. But I go through it and try to do the best I can the way it is, and you will see what it looks like, and it's a nice effect, but you just wait and see. Here comes the next reveal. Yeah, those butterflies are really colorful, aren't they? But I really didn't get the effect I was looking for. So stay tuned to see what I do next. Yes, you guessed it. I'm going to try again. So I pull out my ETG and put just a little bit of adhesive on the back of those butterflies, and I just placed some back down on the paper. I would have liked to have tried to put them where they had been, but I really couldn't tell. So I just placed them down again, and then I put the stencil back where it was supposed to be. It's nice that it's easy to line back up. So I'm looking at my pictures, trying to decide what other color I can use to maybe darken it up. And I decided Seedless Preserves, that purple would be a good color. It'll add a different color and a darker color. So let's see how this works for me. Oh boy, it's almost time for the big reveal. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I really like that. Now let's see when we pull up the butterflies. There's a little impression. That's good. I like that a lot better. And those butterflies, yeah, they're very colorful as well. Okay, so I went and cleaned off my stencil under some water. They're really easy to clean off. You just need to do it as soon as you can. It's not so important with the inks, but once you use this texture paste, you really want to clean it off quickly. If it dries, it's difficult, very difficult to remove. So here I'm just going to apply some texture paste around the outside of the stencil because my photos are going to go in the center, so no reason to put texture paste there. Now I just want to mention that craft sheet, I just picked it up and rotated it rather than rotating my artwork. That tape will stick to the craft sheet, but it's secure enough to keep it there, but it won't stick permanently, I guess what I'm trying to say. It's just a very useful tool, the craft sheet, and they last a long time as well, so it's a good product. I do want to note that the Distress Oxide inks will soak right up through that texture paste, even though that is a white opaque matte texture paste. The Distress Oxide inks go right up through it, and you can't really even tell there was an opaque paste there. You'll see in the close-ups at the end. So I went ahead and I added some of the new Stenciled glitter gel medium that we carry, and it is really cool stuff. And I use the, oh my goodness, it doesn't say on here, it's the white opal moon dust, sorry, it is the moon dust. So I applied that around the outside to add some glitter, and what's left on my craft mat here I'm going to apply to the butterflies to add some sparkle and texture to them as well. Now I do want to mention that I did not record matting my photos and adhering them to the background paper here because that's basically all I did. The background that I created was enough. So I matted my photos on white cardstock with an 1/8 of an inch. They're all 3x4s. So I had an 1/8 of an inch white border around the outside, and then I matted them onto a piece of sangria cardstock to give it a definite border. And then I put that right in the center of my layout. And I also cut down my layout to approximately 11 1/4 size to just cut off the borders of that stencil from the white, and then I matted that onto sangria as well, and that really enhanced those colors. It's just gorgeous. So after it was all dry, that is, so it took a little bit of drying before I got to that point. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's just a gorgeous layout. I love how it came out. Thank you. Take care.